Belinda Bencic ended Alex Eala's impressive Canadian Open campaign with a commanding 6-4, 6-0 victory in the round of 16. The final score suggests a completely one-sided contest, especially because of the second set bagel, but the opening set was much more competitive than the result may indicate. Eala fought back after falling behind, pushed the score to 4-4, and appeared ready to challenge Bencic for control. However, the experienced Swiss player responded immediately, won the most important games, and eventually took complete command of the match. For Eala, the defeat ended a remarkable 7-match winning streak. She entered the match full of confidence after producing one of the strongest stretches of her young career. Her recent performances had shown tremendous improvement in her movement, baseline consistency, shot-making, and competitive mentality. She had already defeated several difficult opponents during her North American hardcourt campaign and reached the round of 16 at a major WTA 1000 event. Bencic represented a different kind of challenge. The Swiss star brought experience at the highest level, along with a powerful all-court game and the calmness of a former Olympic champion. She understood how to manage pressure, how to attack Eala's weaknesses, and how to prevent the young Filipina from settling into her preferred rhythm. The match became a test between Eala's rising confidence and Bencic's established experience. A competitive opening set. The match began with both players trying to establish control from the baseline. Bencic immediately showed that she wanted to play aggressively, taking the ball early and looking to push Eala behind the baseline. Eala, meanwhile, attempted to use her left-handed patterns, vary the direction of her shots, and create opportunities through her forehand and movement. The first important moment came during Eala's opening service game. She committed 2 early double faults, giving Bencic an opportunity to attack before the rallies could develop. Bencic did not waste the chance. She put pressure on Eala's second serve, stepped inside the court, and secured an early break. Those double faults were costly because they allowed Bencic to begin the match with immediate momentum. Against an experienced opponent, giving away free points on serve can create pressure before a player has found her rhythm. Bencic was already returning aggressively, so Eala needed her serve to provide a reliable foundation. Instead, she was forced to defend from the beginning. However, Eala responded exactly as she needed to. She did not allow the early break to affect her emotionally. She fought back, pressured Bencic's service game, and quickly leveled the score. That response demonstrated the resilience that had carried her through her previous victories. Eala showed that she was capable of recovering from a difficult start and matching Bencic's intensity. The set continued with both players exchanging breaks. Bencic was able to move ahead again, using her forehand to control the center of the court and send Eala from one corner to the other. Whenever Bencic found a short ball, she immediately stepped forward and increased the pace. Her goal was to prevent Eala from building long rallies on her own terms. At 4-2, Bencic appeared to be in control. She was serving with confidence, striking the ball cleanly and placing Eala under constant pressure. But Eala refused to surrender the set. She held her serve in the 7th game and then produced an excellent return game to break Bencic once again. At 4-4, the momentum seemed to be changing. Eala was becoming more aggressive, defending with greater discipline, and finding better depth on her ground strokes. The crowd was fully engaged, and the match had developed into a genuine contest. Eala had successfully erased Bencic's advantage twice, and the next 2 games became extremely important. The turning point at 4-4. The 9th game was the defining moment of the opening set. After fighting back to level the score, Eala needed to hold serve and force Bencic to serve under pressure. Instead, Bencic responded with the maturity and composure of a player who had been in countless high-pressure situations. The Swiss player raised the intensity of her returns and refused to play passively. She attacked Eala's second serve, looked for the first opening in the rally, and forced the young Filipina into difficult defensive positions. Under that pressure, Eala committed another costly error, including a double fault that helped Bencic earn the break. The break was especially painful because Eala had just completed a strong comeback. She had worked hard to reach 4-4, but Bencic immediately took back control. This sequence showed the difference between simply creating momentum and maintaining it against an elite opponent. Bencic then served for the set at 5-4. She did not give Eala another opportunity to change the direction of the match. Her first serve was effective, her ground strokes remained deep, and she played the important points with confidence. She closed the opening set 6-4. The first set was decided by small margins. Eala had competed well, but Bencic was more efficient when it mattered most. Bencic served with greater reliability and earned more points behind her first serve. Eala was forced to play too many points behind her second serve, which gave Bencic the freedom to attack early. The key difference was not effort. Eala fought hard throughout the set. The difference was the way Bencic handled the critical moments. Whenever Eala began to build momentum, Bencic found a way to interrupt it. She did not panic after losing her lead, and she did not allow the 4-4 scoreline to turn into a psychological disadvantage. Bencic controls the second set. The second set began with Bencic immediately applying even more pressure. She broke Eala's serve in the opening game and then held her own serve to establish an early 2-0 lead. In the third game, Bencic broke again, moving ahead 3-0 and placing Eala in a difficult position. Once Bencic gained that advantage, the match began to move at her preferred pace. She was taking the ball early, redirecting Eala's shots, and attacking the open court. Instead of allowing Eala time to build her points, Bencic made every exchange feel rushed. This was one of the biggest tactical differences between the two players. Eala is at her best when she can construct points, use her movement, change direction, and wait for the right opportunity to attack. Bencic did not give her enough time to do that. The Swiss player constantly looked to strike the ball before Eala could recover her position. Bencic's forehand became the most important weapon in the second set. She used it to stretch Eala from side to side, and then finish points when Eala was pulled too far away from the center. The objective was not simply to hit winners on every point. Bencic used her forehand to control space, dictate positioning, and force Eala to hit while off balance. Eala attempted to adjust by moving forward and looking for opportunities at the net. That was a logical strategy because remaining in long baseline exchanges allowed Bencic to dictate. However, Bencic was prepared for the change. She continued to strike the ball with accuracy and pace, making it difficult for Eala to approach comfortably. As the set continued, Eala found herself under increasing pressure on serve. Bencic was attacking the return and making Eala play the first shot of the rally defensively. Without free points from her serve, Eala had to work through long and difficult service games. That made it harder for her to create attacking chances on the return. The score quickly moved to 4-0, then 5-0. Although the result appeared to be slipping away, Eala continued to fight. In the sixth game, she created opportunities and pushed Bencic into a difficult service game. Eala fought through several long points and attempted to extend the match. But Bencic remained composed. She trusted her patterns, continued to attack the ball, and refused to give Eala the opening she needed. After securing the game, Bencic closed the match with a decisive forehand winner. Why Bencic won? Bencic's victory was built on several important factors. First, she served more effectively in the crucial moments. Her first serve gave her control of many points, while Eala's double faults created unnecessary pressure. Against a player who returns as aggressively as Bencic, a weak second serve can become a major liability. Second, Bencic returned exceptionally well. She did not allow Eala to begin rallies comfortably. By attacking the return and pressing the next ball, she forced Eala to defend before she could establish her own patterns. Third, Bencic controlled the court with her forehand. She repeatedly moved Eala from corner to corner and used the open space intelligently. Her forehand was not only producing winners, it was also controlling the position of both players during the rallies. Fourth, Bencic managed the momentum better. Eala's comeback to 4-4 in the first set could have changed the match, but Bencic responded immediately. She did not become passive or frustrated. Instead, she increased the pressure and took the set before Eala could fully take control. Finally, Bencic had the advantage of experience. She understood that the match could be decided by 1 or 2 games. Her ability to remain calm during important moments allowed her to recover from mistakes and stay focused on the larger tactical plan. What Eala can learn. Despite the loss, Eala's tournament should be viewed as a major success. She won 7 consecutive matches, produced a breakthrough run, and proved that she can compete at the highest levels of professional tennis. Reaching the round of 16 in a WTA 1000 tournament is another important step in her development. The match also provided valuable lessons. Eala needs to make her serve more dependable, especially against opponents who attack second serves immediately. Avoiding double faults and earning more free points with the first serve would give her greater control at the beginning of rallies. She can also continue improving her ability to change tactics when an opponent takes away her time. Against Bencic, Eala was often pushed deep behind the baseline. In those situations, she could use higher margin shots, more variation, changes in height, and well-timed attacks to regain control of the court. The most important lesson may be sustaining momentum. Eala showed that she could compete with Bencic in the first set. She came back from 2-4 and leveled at 4-4. The next challenge is learning how to maintain that level after an opponent responds strongly. The second set score should not erase the quality of Eala's tournament. Every young player experiences matches where an opponent takes control and does not allow a comeback. What matters is how Eala studies the performance, identifies the areas that broke down, and uses the experience in future matches. Final assessment. Belinda Bencic deserved the victory because she served more consistently, returned with greater aggression, controlled the baseline exchanges, and played the most important points with superior composure. Alex Eala made the first set competitive and showed admirable resilience, but Bencic's break at 4-4 became the moment that changed the match. The 6-4, 6-0 result ended Eala's Canadian Open run, but it does not diminish what she accomplished. Her 7-match winning streak and deep tournament journey showed that she is ready to compete against established names on the biggest stages. Bencic exposed areas that Eala can improve, particularly her second serve, point construction under pressure, and ability to regain court position when forced behind the baseline. At the same time, the match gave Eala valuable experience against a former Olympic champion who understands how to control high-pressure moments. For Eala, this defeat should be treated not as a setback, but as another important stage in her development. She has now experienced the intensity, precision, and consistency required to challenge one of the world's best players. Her Canadian Open campaign ends with disappointment, but it also leaves behind greater confidence, stronger belief, and another reminder that she belongs on this stage.